everybody, my name is Chris and I'm from the Dynamic Drum School, and today I want to teach you how to play Thriller by Michael Jackson. I'm going to teach you the three main drum beats of the song. There's a intro drum beat with the hi-hat and the ride cymbal, then there's the main drum beat, and then for the verse and the chorus, and then there's a separate really cool drum beat for the bridge. I'm going to break down each drum beat into about 5 or 6 parts where it's like just basically the hi-hat and the ride cymbal, hi-hat and snare, hi-hat and bass. Progressively gets harder to teach you the whole drum beat. So you can find a PDF file on my website, dynamicdrumschool.com, where you'll find a whole packet with 3 different levels. There's a level 1 chart with just an 1/8 note drum beat of the song, and then a full chart. You can follow along the song. Level 2 is a little bit harder with the 1/8 notes and 1/16. Same thing, I break down a drum beat for you, and then there's the whole chart. And then what I'm going to teach you today is level 3, which is a breakdown of the 3 drum beats, and then I'm going to go through the whole form of the song. So download the PDF, or you can just follow along with me here. I'll put all the music examples above as I explain them. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and let's get started breaking down the drum set legend. So the first X is the crash cymbal. Then we have the ride cymbal. Then the next X is the hi-hat. Then the next X has the circle on top. That means to open the hi-hat. Then the next X is the hi-hat with the foot. That's when you're going to, after you open the hi-hat, you'll close it. Then we have the snare drum, and then the bass drum. So you could play this all on the right hand, all the hi-hat pattern on the right hand. The song is at 118 beats per minute, so it's pretty quick to keep it that way. It'd be great practice to try to do it. I just think that the feel is a little bit better if you use both hands and you alternate on the hi-hat. So what I do with examples 1 through 5 is I have the right hand on the hi-hat on beat 2, left hand on the snare. And then on beat 4, it's the opposite. Left hand hi-hat, right hand snare. The only problem with this is you're playing the left hand on beat 2 and the right hand on beat 4. So it's a little harder to keep it really consistent with the back beats because one's with the left, one's with the right. Great practice. Ultimately, I would practice this both ways. But I'm going to demonstrate the beat with examples 6 through 10, where I'm going to play the left hand on the hi-hat and the right hand on the snare on beats 2 and 4. So if you prefer the other sticking, right hand on beat 2 with the hi-hat, left hand on the snare, you can follow along with examples 6 through 10. Just reverse the sticking on beat 2. You'll be playing right hand on beat 2 and left hand on snare, right hand hi-hat, left hand on snare. I'll be just doing the reverse. So then we'll start with example number 6. This is just going to be the hi-hat and the snare with the alternate sticking. And the main rhythm, 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So notice on the duh and the 4, I do 2 lefts. Right, right, left with the hi-hat, right, left, left. And the snare drum comes down on the 2 and the 4. Right, right, left, right, left, right, right for the first measure. The second measure, right, right, left, right, left, right left. Second measure, we're just adding 1 more 16th on the duh of 4. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Same that you could leave out the hi-hat on the 4, but to get closer to the drum machine sound, you want to hit the hi-hat and the snare together. So we'll try this at 60 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's take a look at example number 7. Hi-hat, snare, and open hi-hat with the alternate sticking. So the only thing we're going to add is the open hi-hat on the duh of 3. So you're going to open the hi-hat, lift it up on the duh, close it on beat 4, 3 and 3 and 4. Then the second measure, 2 open hi-hats on the duh of 3 and the duh of 4. So you'll open it on the duh of 3, close it on the 4, duh of 4, open it again, close it on the 1. This is kind of unusual. A lot of times you play open hi-hat on the and of 4. So it's easier to come up on the and then close it on the 1. So this will just take a little practice. So we'll try it at 60 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's look at number 8, hi-hat and bass drum. We're going to leave out the open hi-hat on this just to make it a little easier. Add the bass drum on all 4 quarter notes, so on the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's actually going to be a little bit harder to leave out the snare, but just to show you, without the snare, just on the right hand and the left hand and the hi-hat, and then bass drum on the quarter notes. So we'll try this at 60 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Great, so now example number 9, we're going to keep that what we just played, but we're going to add the open hi-hat. So this starts to get a little tricky because you're opening on the duh, and then you're going to close on beat 4, both hi-hat and bass drum. I would just practice that. Both feet coming down on the 4 in the first measure, and then a 4 and the 1. 3 and 3 and 4. So let's practice it 60 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is really hard. It's almost harder to do this at 60 beats, but I would really try it this slow because, for one, it's really hard to make it clean at this tempo. But 2, if you can play it at this slow, really count it out, it will sound so much better when you're full speed. So now let's take a look at example number 10. We're going to put everything together with the whole drum beat. Let's practice this at 60 beats and 90 beats. Let's do 60 beats first. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. And then a quick side note, if you're struggling with that, I would just break down beats 3 into 4, and then 3 into 4 into 1. 3, and then 3 and 3. Now let's try it at 90 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a look at example number 11. This is a really cool drum beat, very unusual with the second measure with the open hi-hat. So we're going to start with just the hi-hat and the snare, leaving out the open hi-hat. So the main rhythm for the first measure is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. But with this sticking, we're going to do a double on the da and the 2, and then the da and the 4. Right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left. And that goes along with the 1 and the 8th and the 2/16. So you could just break down that first measure a few times. Then the second measure, first half is the same. Right, left, 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 right, left. So 16th, 8th, 16th. So 3E and 4. Right, left, 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 right, left. 3E and 4 and both measures together. One, 2, and 3, and 4, and Look at example number 12. We're just going to add the open hi-hat. So in the dove 4, open hi-hat, and you're going to close it on the 1. Then the second measure, 3E and so right, left, foot, left. And then left again on the 4, and then and 3E and 4 and just the second measure. Put both measures together. So let's do it together at 60 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and We're just going to look at the first measure for example number 13, and we're going to take away the hi-hat, open hi-hat, to make it a little easier. So we're adding the bass drum in 1, 3, and the da of 4. Second measure, example number 14, we're going to add the bass drum in the 1, 2, 3, and the da of 4. So example number 15, we'll try this at 60 beats per minute, both measures together. We'll still leave out the open hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So now number 16, we're just going to look at the last step is just to add the open hi-hat to everything. So we're just adding the first measure. We're going to look at just the da, open hi-hat, and bass drum together. Again. Then the second measure, open hi-hat on the E, and then closing it on the and. So we're putting everything together. Then the last step, we'll look at number 18, put everything together. So we'll try this at 60 beats per minute, putting both measures together for the whole bridge drum beat. 2, 3, and 4. Now we'll try the same thing at 90 beats per minute. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The rhythm is the same, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. The quarter notes on the ride cymbal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to come back in the hi-hat on the right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. The only difference is we're going to hit the left and the right together. Hi-hat in the left hand, ride cymbal on the right hand with the 2, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in the anda, you're going to come over right hand, left hand. So the reason to do that is because you'll hear the hi-hat part. Then we also have the ride cymbal on top of it. So if you want to play it exactly like the recording. Now let's take a look at number 20. We're adding the ride cymbal, open hi-hat, and the hi-hat. Open hi-hat on the duh of 2. Open it on the duh of 2. Close it on with your foot on beat 3. So that's the only addition with this one. Just open it on the duh, close it on the 3. Example number 21, we're going to put everything together, adding the bass drum on the 1 and the 3. So bass drum on the 1, and then on the 3, you're going to hit both feet together with the bass drum and the hi-hat. So let's try it at 90 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flick your wrist. My ride cymbal is a little too far just to flick the wrist. If I do that, I won't quite hit the ride cymbal. So you flick the wrist and then move your right hand back and forth. So I'm just moving it a little bit, just moving my forearm. You don't want to move your arm too much. It will slow you down when it's full speed. So I'm just trying to move it as little bit as possible and then just flicking it. So if you want to practice just the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you'll see I'm just barely moving my arm but flicking it. So I'm kind of hitting it upside down sort of on the right and then this way. I just like that because if I were to keep it either French or German, either way it's kind of a weird movement. This is the most natural. You're just flicking your wrist and your arm like that. So here's just a couple fill ideas to add a little excitement, maybe going into the chorus or going into the bridge. Adding 4 30 seconds at the end. We have the intro is 12 measures long. There's 13 footsteps, and you're going to be listening for the cowbell. There's going to be 4 cowbell hits leading into the intro fill. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the drum beat comes in, you're going to play the drum beat 8 times. Then on the 11th measure, you hit the crash, one E and duh, and then you're going to play 8 measures of the drum beat, so 4 times of the 2 measure drum beat for 8 measures. So then the verse starts, 16 measures long. You're going to play that 2 measure drum beat 8 times. Then the chorus starts, and the chorus is 8 measures long, and we have a crash cymbal at the beginning. So you're going to play the crash cymbal, the 2 measure drum beat, then you leave out the crash cymbal for the 3rd and 4th measure, then you're going to repeat it, hit the crash cymbal again in the 5th measure, leave it out on the 6th, the 7th, and 8th measure. Then the re-intro happens, 4 measures long, no crash cymbal. Then verse 2 happens. Verse 2 is 16 measures, just like verse 1. So 8 measures of the drum beat times 2. Then we have the second chorus. It's going to be 9 measures, 1 extra measure. There's no crash at the beginning of the chorus. Feel free to add it, but on the recording, if you want to play exactly like the recording, 4 measures, you don't play the crash. Then in the 5th measure, you're going to add the crash cymbal. Then in the 9th measure, we have a crash cymbal on beat 4. Then we have the bridge. Bridge, now once you've learned how to play the drum beat, you're just going to play that drum beat 5 times, times 2, so a total of 10 measures for the bridge. So the verse 3 starts, 16 measures just like the first and second verse. We're just going to add a crash cymbal at the beginning. Then you repeat the 2 measure drum beat. After that, you're going to repeat it 7 more times, leaving out the crash. And then we have one last chorus. This is an interesting chorus because it's 18 measures long. I like to break it down. I like to think of it as 8 measures, 2 measures, and then 8 measures for a total of 18 measures. You're going to hit the crash cymbal on the 1st and 5th measure. Then you're going to play the 2 measures without the crash. So that will be the 9th and 10th. And then the 11th, you're going to hit the crash again. And then the 15th measure, you'll hit the crash again. Then we just have the outro. In the outro, in the recording, there's no fills and there's no crash cymbals. So you're just going to play it 45 measures, 44 measures with the drum beat, and the 45th measure, you hit the snare, bass, and floor tom. And I'm going to put in the play along chart. You're going to see a bass drum that appears. It's like my metronome, and I'm going to have it count off for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to hit it. And that's it. Great job. Awesome. Now that you know how to play the whole song, now that we've broken down all the parts to it, you learn the form of the song. The idea is to go to the play along video. I'll put the link in the card above. The idea is learn it here, then apply it, watch the other video. You can practice along. There's the original recording of Michael Jackson. You'll see the side view of the drumming, so you'll know if you're playing it right. And then there's the note-for-note transcription. Don't forget there's also the packet where you can download level 1, 2, and 3 on the website. If you'd like me to break down levels 1 and level 2, let me know. If there's enough people that would like that, I'll definitely make a separate video for that. Also, if you enjoy the content, it would be awesome if anybody wants to donate to the channel. There's a link to PayPal below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.